when you were growing up through middle school, high school, it was a bunch of high schools.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, like on one street, you went to U.S. Grant. If you stayed across the street, you went to Southeast. If you stayed on the other side of the street, you went to U.S. Grant or Capitol Hill. You know, it was just like it was crazy.
So you've actually seen how the East Side community has changed.
Yes, big time.
All right, but so before we get there, I still want to talk more about you. So, growing up in Park Estates. So now, some people that if they'll Google and they'll see the East Side now, it's a bunch of old negative stuff.
Right,
And people characterize the East Side as like this really bad place that lacks community, lacks culture, needs all this help. That's how I think people categorize it.
Correct.
But when you think about like growing up and when I would come visit family, that's not the experience I had.
Right.
So how would you characterize growing up in Park Estates for you?
Well, you gotta understand, in those days, in the
now give us a time frame,
80s,
like 80s,
like the early '80s, no, the late '80s. Late '80s, Park Estate was rough. Mm-hmm. When I say rough in my neighborhood, it was rough because it was a lot of gangs. And it was, you had Bloods on one side of Park State, and you had the little Crips on the other side of Park State. And I fit in the middle between
hold on
both.
now, look, I don't want no problems because you're referring to an affiliation of men as little something, as you know how black folks do.
Right.
When you put little in front of something, it causes a problem.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I ain't,
Right.
I'm just saying.
Right.
So so in Park Estates in the, you say late 80s.
Late 80s, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm just going to be real with you. It was times I couldn't even go home from school, coming home from football practice, because the streets is taped off.
Ah, okay.
Where we done robbed a pizza man and he's laying there dead.
Wow.
I couldn't even go home. I had to wait till the police officer allowed me to go down the street to go home.
So you were coming back from high school?
High school. Mm-hmm.
So you took the bus, you walked?
No, I would ride with a friend.
Okay.
And a friend would drop me off, but we couldn't go down the street.
Okay.
And I'm telling the officer, man, I live there. Well, so you're not going to move home right now.
Yeah. So what was it? So before that happened, because I think in some of the late 80s, I think across the country, there's a lot of gang activity across the country.
Yes.
But before that, like I'm going to assume that growing up wasn't always like that.
No.
So like when people are listening, they're like, all right, I hear that part, which they commonly hear when you talk about black neighborhoods and black communities, but the other parts that they don't hear talk enough about.
Right.
You don't talk enough about. So what was that like?
It was some pros. It was some good days. The Northeast Swimming Center for Northeast, the community center. Used to hang out there. Just in the neighborhoods, we'd always like one neighborhood would play. We would play football, and each neighborhood would play each neighborhood.
Yeah.
That was cool. Then you had your kickball games.
Right.
Man, we played outside until you couldn't play outside no more.
It got dark or something happened.
Yeah, it was popping.
Yeah, it's time to go back inside.
Yeah.
Okay, so you were active in sports.
Mm-hmm.
So was it primarily football, or you were the guy that played a lot of sports, but you had to end up picking one?
Well, no, I played football. Coach Farrell Franklin told me I couldn't come in the gym.
You could. He was like, you can't come play basketball.
Chop told me I couldn't play, so I stayed in the weight room.
It's interesting that as you talk about like growing up and things you had to kind of figure out Because, I mean, there could have been, you could have not been the entrepreneur, the business owner that has, has a known brand in the state of Oklahoma.
Right.
It could have been something different.
Yeah.
But I'm a bit curious on what does that look like in terms of where did the desire come from to make sure that you wanted to stay away from things that kept you from getting to where you thought you wanted to go?
I grew up in a home where we almost was the Cosbys.
Okay.
I grew up in a home with a mother and a father, sisters and brothers. And I grew up with a father who was military.
Okay.
I grew up in a home where mama prayed every day, prayed every night.
Okay.
Went to church. So I didn't really get an opportunity with the old man being, at home. I didn't get an opportunity to cut up that food because
couldn't get in.
I just knew
the consequences.
Yeah. That's when, back in the day, your man could look at you or your mama could look at you and they whooping you while they looking at you.
You already know.
That fear was in my heart.
Yeah.
I don't see that. I don't see that anymore, but that's what I grew up in.
Okay.
I grew up in where street lights. Old man said, don't let the street lights catch you. Everybody used to give us, me and my sisters, they used to call us, they gave us the nickname Early Bird. Early Bird. And Daddy would go and flick the light on and off.
On the porch light?
Come on in. And everybody knew this.
Hey, it's time for you to go home.
Yeah, everybody, I see your daddy. But
right.
Man, I really appreciate that. I remember going back to my dad my senior year of high school to going back to my home and telling my mom and dad, man, no, it was just my first year of college.
Okay.
Going back home and telling my mom and dad, I really appreciate what they did.
Mm-hmm.
For the simple fact, if I didn't have them, I don't know what I would have turned out. Mm-hmm. I don't know how I would have turned out because the influence was there. All my little friends and neighborhood friends, but I just kind of knew my old man wasn't having it, my mom wasn't having it, so I just kind of like, nah, I ain't doing that.
Okay. Yeah. So are your parents from Oklahoma City?
Yep. My mom is from Eufaula, Oklahoma. She passed away in 2008, mm-hmm. And then my dad is from San Antonio, and he passed away in 2010.
Okay. Yep. So your dad was in the Air Force?
Yeah, he started out in the Army.
Okay.
He said he didn't like it, and then he switched over to the Air Force.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he's a generation of the Army Air Force.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because people say military, they in San Antonio is like Lackland. Up there.
Yeah, Kelly, because we, growing up as a kid, going back to his hometown was Seguin, right outside of San Antonio.
Yep.
And, growing up, man, every summer, he'll take me to Kelly or
so
Lackland.
You quite possibly could have possibly been, if y'all stayed in San Antonio, you could have possibly been on the burnt orange side.
Yeah, but, I have to give, with being from my old man, he taught me these, some of the rhyme and reasons on his cue game. And then that's when my pawpaw came in too, taught me, so I got a little text in. I'm not gonna let everybody know, but it's what it is.
Yeah, ain't nothing wrong with that. Okay, so then, as you're going through, so what did you when deciding? Well, when did you realize like I'm good at football and this could be an opportunity for me to go to college?
Man, my 8th grade year, season was over. We was getting ready to turn out pads and stuff, and coach, one of the coaches said, "Hey, you're not turning yours in." I said, "Okay."
He's like, "What that mean? I'm trying to have a summer."
He said, "No, you coming to varsity, and you're gonna start practicing with the varsity because you're gonna have to play next year." And I'm sitting there like, "Oh my God!"
Like your freshman year.
Yeah, but my 8th grade year was ruined. It wasn't ruined, but I didn't get to turn in my pads with my other classmates. So
in your mind, you were like, "Look, it's summertime."
Yeah, I'm freed up. But no, I didn't get that opportunity. But
you're 13, 14?
Yeah.
14 years old?
I'm 14 years old.
Ready for that teenage summer?
Yeah. But, you know, it paid off, you know, because 6th, 7th grade, man, we were doing 3-a-day practice at Millwood. And I was didn't have to do it. But I kind of figured, I'm like, you know, my build was different than everyone else. I was built different for thicker body strength and all that. So I was like, if I go ahead and put the time in now, will it pay off? And it did. So I got to play.
But I don't think a sixth grader thinks like that.
Well,
unless you have somebody around you that is putting that in your head, your work ethic in your head to think about putting the time in now, how it could pay off in 6 more years.
Yeah, I did. Well, you know, you always had those upperclassmen, and they would come to the games, at our games, and watch us play. And some of the upperclassmen, you know, I remember them to this day. They would come and like, hey, big old man, you got a chance, man. You need to keep doing what you're doing. Mm-hmm. So those were the positive influences that I had. And I just kind of went with it, man. Like, had a real good guy, a buddy of mine. He passed away. His name was Andre Williams. He played for the University of Oklahoma and graduated in 85. And here I am, like a 6th, 7th grade dude. But he was telling me, hey, man, keep it up. Mm-hmm. That's what kept me going.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So even you talked about earlier, you mentioned a lot about just with like the challenge in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
Right. But still also having discipline in the house. Mm-hmm. But you had older folks in the community or relatives or other athletes who saw something in you young.
Right.
So how was that? Sometimes was it hard just to be a regular kid because you wanted to... You know, or was it like I'm accepting the fact that my fate is I'm going to be good and I don't want to do that?
I'm going to be honest with you, man. The hood had so much love for me growing up in the hood. When I say how much love for me, when things was about to go down and I'm out there hanging out with them.
You had to go.
Hey, we're going to holler at you, man. You going to go because you're going to be something. Mm. And I'm like, what? I'm like, they would literally tell me, hey, we supposed to get into something. You need to go and go home. Mm, okay. And right to this day, it's a lot of old cats was still around, and I give them much love for keeping me straight like that.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? They was the big brothers in the street where I had older brothers, but big brothers. Hey man, you need to go home, Lilo. Cool, I appreciate it.
Yeah. So, looking at in today, what changed? I remember that even for me.
Yeah,
you know. I got that same hey, it's time to go. I have a lot of big cousins. Same thing for me, and I didn't like it. I was like, man, I'm gonna kind of be no. You got to move around. And then I figured it out. Like when my freshman, sophomore year in college, I was like,
right.
Although they may have went to college, they came home that first semester because they didn't really have the discipline to stick it out in that semester.
That's it.
So where do you think it went? I don't say it went wrong. I don't like those words, but what changed from that sense of protection or accountability in neighborhoods, not just black ones, because it's happening all over the place.
Right.
Where did that sense of accountability go?
I don't know.
Where do you see it change? Because you work with a lot of youth.
Yeah, I do.
Right. Where did that change?
Man, well, you know, a lot of change. Kids are not kids anymore. When I say they're not kids, dude, we didn't have the luxuries of cell phones. We didn't have the luxuries of video games. You know, we played outside. Yeah. It's like my young kids here today, and I talk to them. Dude, we drunk out the water hose. And they like, what?
But you had to figure out which one was going to be the cold water.
Right.
There's a cold water spigot, and there's a nasty hot water spigot.
Well, we had a guy in the neighborhood, they had well water.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. It was heavy. It was always cold.
We had to cut the water hose off. You never threw that water hose away. If something didn't work, you cut it right there where it split. You better still use it. That water hose went from 20 feet long to 3 inches long.
I'm telling you, man.
You're still using that water hose.
Yeah.
So then when you finished college, came back home, after college, what happened after that? Like, what did you decide to do after that?
After college,
where did you go after high school?
I went to Southeast Oklahoma State University at Durant, Oklahoma. Okay. Played ball down there. I was set up.
Dennis Rodman went to
Southeastern.
Okay.
Yeah, he was gone for me. So, but I was set up. I was getting into criminal justice. I was like, man, I think I want to be a police officer.
Okay.
Or and then I said, well, do I want to do that? And then I said, tell you what, I think I really want to be a probation officer.
Okay.
And I didn't, being in Durant, it was different.
Mm-hmm.
When I say it was different, here I am, graduated in 1991.
Okay.
And my dad is telling me, Junior, you for sure about this. I didn't understand what he was telling me. I was looking at, okay, Daddy, let's look at it like this, Pops. I got a free ride. They're paying for my school. Take advantage of it. It ain't coming out your pocket.
Right.
Pops was like, okay, that makes sense. Pops bought me a new little car. Had money in my pocket.
Right.
The rent was different. In the 1991, you'd think times had changed. Mm-hmm. Times hadn't changed in 91. I went to an all-black school all my life. And then I go to Southeastern Oklahoma State University.
And it's not a lot of y'all.
And it's not.
Ain't a lot of us.
It's about a handful of us. And all of us were athletes.
Mm-hmm. And the town knew
you were
athletes.
Yeah.
That's the only reason why you there.
And I had it a little bit better than some. If the cafeteria closed, I had money to go in town, to go look around, go wherever I wanted to go. I had money, but that's what you didn't want to do.
Yeah, I got a lot of kinfolk from Ardmore, so I understand.
Yeah.
That area of Southeast Oklahoma.
Yeah, it's different.
Yeah, it's different. Yeah, a lot of rules, unwritten rules.
I never forget it.
And let me just clarify. I don't want people thinking that we're talking in code.
Right.
That are listening and watching. So, it's really rural, and there's a lot of racism.
Yes.
There's a hotbed of the Klan.
Yes.
Especially in the early '90s, and that was also a time of heightened police brutality.
Yes.
Gangster rap is coming out.
Yep.
The music scene has changed, and people are being more expressive through art, and there's a lot of tension.
Yes.
I remember, so in 91, I was 12, so I remember Klan rallies in Stevens County. I remember when I was my 7th grade year,
right.
7th or 8th grade, somebody spray painted the N-word on a building, and I was vice president of student council.
Right.
But because I wore a Malcolm X hat to school, I got pulled out of class and was told I couldn't wear it because I was the reason why somebody spray painted the N-word across the street from the middle school.
Yeah.
So all this stuff is going on, and you're an athlete in Southeast Durant. So that's just the frame of, if you're listening and watching, of what it's like to be one of a handful of black athletes.
Right.
You're also on a full ride, and correct me if I'm wrong, even those other black athletes probably thought you came from a place of privilege.
They did, because when we came down to Southeast, and my mom and dad brought me down. And we had a nice car.
You had a Lincoln? You got a Lincoln? You got a
Cadillac.
You got a Cadillac? Boy, y'all got the Cadillac.
Had a nice car.
Floating all the way down 35. Just
yeah. And
big trunk in the back.
Big old trunk, and they unloaded my trunk, and we're unloading going
suitcases.
To the dorm, and they looking like, oh my God.
Yeah, the suitcases that had like the gold thing on the end to protect the corners.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
And I got spoiled because it was me, my mom, my dad, my sister, her husband at the time, and my wife, my girlfriend. Mm-hmm. Yeah, my mom and dad walked in the room, and my girlfriend, they walked in the room, and they're like, holy crap, this is nasty. Well, I had to go ahead and report in, and Mom and them, they cleaned my room. I mean, I was set up, dude. I'm like, man, this.
You had your little pantry.
Oh man,
had your buying the sausage and crackers and Spam.
They went to
over
Walmart,
there.
went and stocked me up. I was set. Yeah.
Had your 72 pack of noodles.
I was set.
You was set.
Yeah. That's why I don't eat ramen noodles. I don't eat that now, dude. No, that and bologna.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's something I just don't eat anymore. Because I had to.
So after that, you decided. What did you decide to do after college?
After college, man, I had an opportunity, and I didn't take it. I ended up doing totally different. I went in the mental health field.
Okay.
And I ended up working at the Betty Chase Center, dealing with juvenile delinquents level E boys group home.
Okay.
Dude, I loved it, man.
Mm-hmm. Why? Why did you love it?
Just because I was dealing with youth, and I couldn't really relate to a lot of it because I wasn't a bad kid. So with these kids, you know, well, you talking about stealing mom's credit cards and just juvenile delinquents shooting, and I got an opportunity to work with them.
Hold
on. You know, I had that opportunity to go in that field, and dude, I went from Betty Chase Center, Hillcrest, St. Anthony's, Norman Regional, back to St. Anthony's, and I got to travel. It got to the point where I had to start thinking, okay, hold on, they using me now.
Okay.
I'm a big guy, they using me. I was going from Hydro, Oklahoma, in Weatherford, to Shadow Mountain in Tulsa, putting out fires and going to Broken Bow, putting out fires at all these level E's.
Mm-hmm. So they were. You felt like they were using you as the enforcer.
As the enforcer, because I would have to go, instead of me going and doing a seminar, a work program with their staff. No, I was literally going in there, telling their staff, get out my way, let me fix your issue. Yeah. So, you know, I go, she gives me the address, I go by, I walk in the door, and then all these ladies, these elder ladies, oh my God, you're hired. I said, damn, I wasn't applying for nothing. No, you're hired.
Hired for what?
I said, what am I hired for? She said, we need someone like you. And I'm like, okay, we're going to make a title. You're going to be a behavioral consultant for Edmond Public School District.
I'm confused, though. Why does she have all these questions for you? She offers you a job.
Right.
Now, I'm making an assumption.
Right.
That you're going into suburban Edmond schools, and, it's the big black guy. We need him. Right?
Yep.
Was that how it was?
Basically, when I walked in the door, I was bought.
But why did you go?
Curiosity. Because here this lady I just
You got a job.
Just met this lady on the phone, and I'm like, okay.
The lady all up in your business, and you decide that I'm going to go see what they're talking about.
And then, you know, I look at it, I Google on the computer, and I look how close it was from my house. Here I'm driving every day. I got to get up early to beat the traffic going into Norman, and I had to leave Norman early to beat the traffic coming home. And this was ideal, 4 minutes away from my house.
Okay, let's back up. There's a little bit gap there. So, at this time, are you married and with kids, or what's that time frame?
Married, just got married in 96. Kids didn't come until 99.
Okay.
Yeah. So I was just,
So this is before the kids come into the picture.
Yep.
Okay, but still fairly newly married.
Yeah.
But your now wife and at the time wife.
Right.
How long were y'all together before you got married?
I met my wife in high school.
Okay.
She was She was a freshman. I was a sophomore.
Okay, so look, we got to fill in some gaps now because
yeah.
wife is a part of the business.
Oh,
y'all do everything together. Tandem.
Yes.
Ain't one without the other.
That's
right?
it.
Well, look, you ain't too far behind.
Nah.
So she been in here for a while.
Man, day one, man. I mean, we watched each other grow up, man.
Yeah.
You know, when we sat at home and we get to talking, we reminisce about, I taught her how to drive. I took her to her first job at Hardee's. Not Carl Jr.'s.
Hardee's.
You know,
well, I missed the onion rings.
Yeah, you know, but, dude, just to reminisce like that, man, dude, that means day one.
That's special.
Yeah.
That's special.
Yep.
That's special. So, so did she follow you to Southeast?
No, she went to UCO.
Oh, she stayed in the suburbs.
Yep, she stayed there and went to UCO.
So she was so you were at Park Estates, and she was where?
She lived in Wildwood.
Oh,
That's
so you thought she was the Cosbys.
Yeah.
They was like the Cartwrights.
Right.
They was something else.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you was like the thug in comparison.
You know, right.
You talking to that boy down at Park Estates?
Yeah.
You know, we stay over here. We stay north of 50th over here.
Right. But it all worked out.
It all did.
It all worked out.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Okay, so then you are. I want to fast forward a little bit because I want to try to understand like how did food come into the picture here, because here it is that let me finish. We'll talk about in terms of like the youth.
Right.
So then you become a behavioral consultant with Edmond Public Schools. And how did that transition go from you being really a part of and mental health and working in like boys' homes and shelters, from that to Edmond Public Schools, which from what I recall, you were the first black teacher.
Second black.
Second.
Mm-hmm. In 1993, my high school coach had went to Edmond Santa Fe. He was the first black teacher in Edmond Santa Fe. We had the same birthday, March 29th.
Day after mine.
I followed his footsteps.
Okay.
In 93, he was at there, and then he was the first black. I was the second black.
So do you think he had something to do with you coming?
Nope. Didn't have a clue, man.
So he didn't even know that you were coming to the school?
No. He was already gone by the time I got there.
Oh, he was gone?
Yeah,
okay.
He was already gone.
Okay.
Yeah, he was already gone.
So although you were the second black teacher, but at that time you were the only black teacher at that time?
Yep.
Okay.
I had to take that back, rewind it. We did have a black administrator, a principal.
Okay.
But I'll leave it but.
I got you. The skin folk, not kinfolk. Gotcha.
Right.
We look alike, but we ain't alike.
Right.
I got you. I can't depend on you, sir.
Right.
I'm not calling you brother like it's sir.
Right.
Yeah.
I never chopped it up with you.
Yeah,
I couldn't.
Nah. I don't even know why I can talk to you at all.
Right. You already know.
Look, no. Okay, I got you. That's code for he's not getting the fist bump or pound. He ain't getting the shake or nothing like that. He's getting one of these. Holler at you.
Yeah.
Okay, so then as you're getting involved with more youth, you start coaching as well.
Man, I got the first week I was there, Coach Emma North had found out that I was over at Santa Fe. Because it's crazy how it all worked. From the phone call, I had a Little League football team.
Okay.
I was getting recruited, didn't even know it. These Edmond high school coaches was coming to my games, but never would talk to me.
So this is where you were coaching Little League?
Yeah. And yeah. Coaching Little League.
So all this stuff is happening. You have no idea
that
there's some master plan at work to get you to come to Edmond.
Didn't have a clue.
All right, so now let's get into the food business.
Yep.
So when I don't know if you remember this, you were the first black-owned food truck I met.
Man.
And I got it in 2016.
Where did we meet at?
You were at Patriarch.
I mean, you're right.
You were at Patriarch.
Yep.
You were at Patriarch.
Yep.
In Edmond. I was still trying to figure out what's going on, and I was bored, went up there, enjoyed the spot. You were there, got some food.
Right.
And this is before the whole idea about OKC Black Eats even coming into the picture, because in my head, I wasn't for to be here long.
Right.
I was about to
pass it through.
I was passing through. So then that was my first time. Yeah, you were because I was literally trying to find black-owned food trucks, black-owned restaurants, because I just moved back from Houston. And yeah, that was the first time I met you then. You didn't stay long because there wasn't a lot going on at Patriarch at that time.
Yeah, it was slow motion.
It was really slow.
Yeah.
It was really slow.
Yeah.
So then you left. And that was, so then you leave 2018. So then where did let's back up. So when did the food truck start?
Food truck started in 2013.
Okay.
I had 2 items that I sold before I had the food truck. I had a trailer, a 16-foot trailer with a barbecue pit built on the trailer.
Okay.
My routine was I would go to every beauty shop and salon on the east side, and before I would get to the east side, I would hit the car lots right there on Broadway Extension, hit them, and then hit all my beauty shop and salons. 2 items, turkey legs and hot links were the only items I sold. That was it. Well,
why did you choose those 2?
Nobody ever done a turkey leg. It was a big corkers of meat, and people was like, you can't get it tender.
It's tough. Yeah.
I said, I can get it tender. And nobody was doing it. So
but before that, like, there had to be something that made you say, I'm going to choose a turkey leg. Dude, now, I can see the competitor in you saying, like, oh, you say I can't do it, then I'll do it. But when did you like, you know what, I must start with the turkey leg?
Walking to the fair as a young boy.
Oh.
And I'm looking at these turkey legs. And
almost having your teeth ripped out?
Yeah. And I'm like, nah, I'm cool on that.
Okay.
And, I think at a young age, man, where I grew up, my grandpa was involved a lot. He stayed in Crescent Hills. So that's deep deuce in the hood. You know what I'm saying? So I got to go to Geronimo's down on 70. No. But Papa was a pitmaster. Nobody really knows. I don't tell a lot. Papa was a pitmaster for Tom's. Tom's Barbecue.
Okay.
So when I go hang out at Papa's house, we in there in the kitchen. So when I'm over there, I'm not outside riding no bicycle. I'm trying to.
You with Papa?
Papa going, yeah.
Because you wanted to, or he was like, come get over here?
I wanted to, but it was just cool to hang out with him.
Yeah. Okay.
And then Papa bought me a smoke at 12.
Okay.
So this is when the food played with it a little bit, but didn't really mess with it.
So this is that thing where, like, you got the somebody in the family that's passing down something to you.
Right.
I got to pass this down to somebody.
Right.
And you became the person that got my first pit at 12.
Yeah.
So your introduction to barbecue started at 12. Also an athlete, all this stuff going on in the pre-teenage years. But your introduction to learning barbecue has been, what, 30 plus years?
Almost 40.
Almost 40 years in barbecue.
Yep. 12 years old, taking membranes off a rib.
But somebody would assume that because you have a brick and mortar restaurant, you've had a food truck for a little bit, that you've only been doing it for so long.
Yeah, no, I've been in the game a long time.
And just, keeping it real, like, you don't really even talk about turkey legs like that.
Because
that's where you started, turkey legs and hot legs.
Right. If you could go right now, if we could go back in time and walk Edmond Santa Fe hallways from 2000 to 2016, every kid know about Coach O's turkey legs and the hot legs.
Okay.
Every kid. Even their parents. Hey, Coach O here with the turkey legs. Baby, go on give me 4 or 5 to bring them on home. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
We go way back.
All right. So when you think about the business of it, you built an audience before this restaurant thing came in. So you built a customer base before the decision about, hey, let's do a restaurant, a brick and mortar.
Yep. Man,
was that intentional?
Didn't have a clue. Didn't have no. Wasn't even thinking about building no business. Man, I mean, like I said, I was just hustling. Keeping it 100 on the mic.
Yeah.
I was just out there hustling.
Yeah.
And I liked how the hustle was going.
So married, kids coming along.
Right.
You know, you got to do what you got to do.
Right. My mama's sitting in the background crying, baby, you got to stop doing this because you don't have no license. And they go, you know, your mama
you got no health inspection. You got no permit.
Right. Your mama telling you, baby, you got to stop doing that because you're going to get jammed up and you ain't got no license. And man, you know, I'm riding one night. We just got through hustling. Got a couple legs left. We're on our way home. We're coming down Martin Luther King.
Got that chirp.
So we pulled over.
See them lights in the back up.
Pulled over. He come up to the car.
So you pulling the trailer?
Pulling the trailer with smoke. It's smoking. It's a live fire in there. Damn. I look at my little nephew and my boys in the car. I roll down the window. Damn. He says, hey, see us. You the turkey leg man? I said, yes. Can I get 3 turkey legs and 3 Dr. Peppers? I like.
Hey man, gave you a heart attack and pulled you up because he was hungry.
Yeah. That was the coolest thing I've had, man. I mean, that was cool, man. Yep.
Okay. Yep. So you've been doing it that long.
Yep.
Business starts to pick up.
Yep.
And then when did you start to realize?
Hey, what's up?
When did you start to realize that? When did you start to realize that? You know what? This is starting to, like, I'm good at this.
Yeah.
Like.
Well.
And I'm pretty sure. I mean, yes, you have confidence and all that stuff, but like in terms of a business,
right?
Like, I think this is going to work out to be something bigger than what I thought. Let's make this official.
Well, end up getting a freaking food truck.
Mm-hmm. So when did you get the food truck? What
2013.
year? So 2013, get the food truck. Mm-hmm. This is like the start of like the food truck era.
Man.
2012, 2011, 2012.
The day I got my food truck inspected, there was only 11 food trucks in the state. Wow. 11.
So you were 12.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was so many, like, man. And now there's so many, it's just they saturated now.
Right.
A lot of people don't know, and I'm going to tell them now that when we did our first event was 8th and H.
Okay.
8th and H was a stripped down.
Hold on, no. So you were a part of the generation of Bobo's establishing the precedent for food truck inspections.
Mm-hmm.
You know how big that is?
Dude, you realize? Yeah, big time. Yeah.
And I think people don't realize like how he kept up the truck when he was operating his business, that Bobo established the rules for how food truck inspections should go.
Mm-hmm.
Also somebody that had a great love and a relationship with law enforcement, whatever, your background in pursuing criminal justice and all that stuff. And I'm like, there's a connection there that I'm not.
Yeah.
Did you understand that there was that type of connection between, I would call the godfather of food trucks in Oklahoma City?
Right. But when you say the godfather being real, though, some of us couldn't run during the daytime. Some of us had to run after 5.
All right, so what do you mean by that?
If you could run in the daytime between the hours of 11, from the hours of 10 to 5, you're official. They could come on your truck, inspect you, see that your license and everything is on your truck, no problem. Some of us had to wait till the
office
health
closed.
department closed
Okay.
after 5 to make some money.
So that's what your mom was like, go and get your permit.
Yeah, man. My mom.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. That kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
So then you got the food truck, and then so how was it for you? Like, were you nervous about getting this food truck?
Man, what nervous?
Or it's like it's a natural thing?
Just nervous about when we got shot down on the first. We got shot down on the first H&A.
Okay.
And we got shot down because
And that was when it was
had,
like downtown.
Yeah. They said they had too many barbecue trucks.
Okay.
So this is me thinking again. I gotta hustle.
I'll be close by.
I'm not gonna let you tell me that you got too many barbecue trucks. So when they told me that, the dude came to me and said, "Hey, too many barbecue. Cool, no problem. I'm a potato truck. We're doing smoked potatoes, loaded potatoes." He said, "What?" "Yeah, we're doing smoked potatoes." I said, "But I'm gonna put my brisket in barbecue." First night it was when he said, "Cool, you can do it that way."
Okay.
We got in H&A. It was over. He came and saw how many people we had in that line. He said, "Hey, do your barbecue, then do you, man."
I love it. Okay.
Yep.
So that was that. And things start to pick up.
Yep.
Right? Now, did you have some type of like mentor or advisor or whatever, or someone you can talk to about like making this a legitimate business and brand as a food truck operator? Or is it just like, hey, I'm just figuring out?
Only people who really helped us when we started this game was Off the Hook. That first night we were down H&A, like a deer in the headlights. Dude, we didn't know what we were doing.
Yeah.
We didn't have a clue what we were supposed to do.
Yeah.
Didn't have a clue that we were supposed to have these people in line.
Yeah.
All I knew, if I got music playing at my trailer, my personality, people person, go out and hoorah a little bit, move it around.
Yeah.
It would work. Corey said, "Oh, you good. Don't trust me, you good." Dude, we popped and made it work. You just been here ever since.
Okay.
Yep.
So as you start to grow in the business and you're learning how to brand, now did you start off as Big O's Pork and Dreams, or did it evolve to having the name Big O's Pork and Dreams, or you came out the gate as Big O's Pork and Dreams?
Came out the gate, Big O's Pork and Dreams.
Okay, so came out the gate as Big O's Pork and Dreams, serving turkey legs and hot links, and then you did the baked potatoes. Loaded baked potatoes have become the signature of what you do.
Right.
Learning from, Paw,
Yep.
Pitmaster. And then, so that was 2012, 13.
Yep.
5-6 years later, the opportunity to have a restaurant comes around.
Man, on my way to work, doing my own thing. Sterling Shepard calls and asks me 3 weeks before this happens. He said, "Hey,
is he still at OU, or is he
He's
at
OU.
Okay.
Hey, old man, I was telling Coach Stoops how you would come to Heritage and feed us, and he wants to do the same thing." So I'm at the school, and I'm like, okay. I'm like, well, Coach, he calls. He said, "Hey, can you be down here Thursday?" It's on Tuesday. I'm like, "Yeah, I can be down there." I go to the office and tell my principal. I say, "Hey, check it out. I'm not going to be here Thursday." Go down to Norman. Home run that. They pay me. They pay me so good. He said, "Oh, can you do this every Tuesday, Thursday?" I said, "Yeah, I can do it."
For the players?
Yeah, for the players and coaches.
Okay. What year was this?
This is in Sterling graduated, so 14, 15, something like that.
Okay.
So I'm back at the office talking to the principal. Like, hey man, I can only give you Wednesday, Friday. Okay, we'll take whatever we can get. Because right now, I'm a behavior consultant, now / credit recovery teacher.
Okay.
Credit recovery, 10 kids in the classroom. You got Johnny here. Johnny's 17. If he's turned 18, Johnny got 2 credits. Johnny got 14 absence. Johnny really ain't supposed to graduate. So they's like, oh, we just gotta do what we do. Well, it got to the point I was doing real good. It's like, hey man, don't worry about getting a sub for me. Just gonna deduct it. I'm not tripping. Well, when I told them that, they got mad at me because I was telling the school I need your money.
So Kim thing were like they
like, hold on.
assume that you need us, and it was like, I don't need you.
Right.
Actually, you need me.
Right. So when I saw the writings on the wall, and we had 2-3 new kids come in at school from Flint, Michigan.
Okay.
Edmond Santa Fe was not ready for it. Kids buck wild, telling the principal, man, I ain't listening to you. F this, F that. Walking out the office, Coach, where are you at? Meanwhile, I'm ignoring my phone blowing up, and I'm like, I don't know what's up. Hey man, such over here, we just can't handle it. Well, y'all better handle. Where's the resource officer? He ain't here today either. Oh man, I don't know what to tell you. I'm not. So when I got done, they was like, hey, yo, this is not gonna work anymore. So they kind of forced me to resign.
Okay.
But I was cool. I was, like I say, I just got driving to school the next morning, and there was a place with my place in Edmond.
Okay.
It was called Mutt's Amazing Hot Dogs. And I saw the Felice sign in the window. I said, well, shoot. I said, well, I'm gonna
it was vacant for a little bit, wasn't it?
It was. And I saw it in the window, and I took down the number, and I got on my plane.
I think it was at least vacant for about a year.
Yep. Wasn't nobody in there.
Because I lived down the road from there.
When it was vacant, they was only open for 8 months.
Okay.
And then it was just vacant. Well, meanwhile, I saw the Felice sign. I ended up getting the number, and I called. And I said, well, hey, I'd like to come check out that spot.
But okay. It's not as simple as like, I saw this time a call. Like, what was in your spirit and your thought process of I think and I know the wife had to be a part of this conversation of like, what is the real possibility of this becoming a brick and mortar restaurant business?
When I got to work, I was frustrated because now they had started making my classroom the dumping zone.
Like when you were with
yes.
Okay.
So I'm the dumping zone. And I'm like, hold on, man. I'm not doing this. No. I've been through this before. So I caught myself walking the track. I just told the kids, I'll be back. And they had a lady because we was in portables, had the other teacher come over. Ended up walking the track, and he told me, man, I need a break. Called my wife and tell her, hey, baby, I saw this brick and mortar. I'm gonna shoot the shot. I'm tired. She said, well, baby, I've been waiting on you to make this call.
Uh-oh.
So right
now,
there,
knowing your wife, how I know your wife.
Right.
She's probably already mentioned or said something about this. But you focus on the food truck.
That's it. That and then football.
So you're being committed to people. Like, you're loyal to what you're getting yourself into.
Right.
You're not the type. You're not a flighty person, a hop, skip, and jump. That's not you.
No, I already put my time in. So it's like. But when I saw that, made the call, and it was so crazy when I made the call. He answered. I was expecting to leave a voicemail. And the guy was like, yeah, we'll be there at 3:30. We'll show you, and everything. I said, cool, we'll be there. Wasn't but the man upstairs, man. I walk in. Here's a man that I've helped in life.
What? So did you have any idea that it's somebody that you would know?
No. I helped this man in life when he was at his low. When he was sitting on the curb and police was there, I whipped out my badge when I was at Hillcrest. Hey, I'm a counselor. Let me holler at him. I got it. Okay, we're going to turn him over to you. Took him home, got him straight, got him some coffee in him. He said, man, I really appreciate you. I said, don't worry about it, man. That's what neighbors do. 17 years later, I see the same man.
Wow.
He's the owner of the facility. I walk in, he said, Big
Did he know it was you?
Not on the phone.
Or he was like, oh, it's just a person that's interested.
When I walked in, he looked, he said, Big O. I said, John. He said, I'll tell you what, though, if you want it, it's yours.
Wow.
He said, man, when they left everything in it. So when we signed the lease, until you open, you don't pay no rent.
Wow.
He said, tell you what, I'm going to do better.
So this is the owner of the property?
Yeah.
The property owner?
Uh-huh. He says, tell you what, I'm going to do better than that. I'm going to give you a year. Don't pay no rent. Every piece of furniture, every equipment, everything in it was furnished. It was already ready. All I had to do was put my touch to it. When I say every piece of equipment in that facility, he said, in the contract, in the lease, everything is yours.
Wow.
I had enough. List right here. Because when they closed months, they had one in Norman, and I had another one, and they brought all the equipment to the Edmond and just dumped it in there.
That's like storage.
Yes. So I had extra tables, chairs, refrigerator, everything.
Wow. So you were supposed to do that.
Yep.
But did you have an idea? It wasn't like a thing in your head where you were like, I think there's a possibility that I want to be in the restaurant business.
Didn't even have a clue, man.
So you're just doing what you were just helping people along the way.
Shit.
And investing in people along the way. Not afraid to help people who were in a bad situation or having a tough time in life. You're not running from those people. And you know what? It makes sense now.
Yep.
It makes sense now why when people come to the restaurant that they feel like they're seen, like they're a human. Like there's no judgment in it. It's like, hey, okay, I'm gonna talk to you anyway.
Everybody coming in the door, your family.
And I think that's the sense. So like when people come in a restaurant, like you literally greet everybody.
That's it.
You talk to everybody because there are people that I've come in contact with, and you speak to them, and probably no one's spoken to them all day. They may have had a bad day, and because you spoke to them, it just changed their day.
The guy was just left.
Mm-hmm.
First time ever coming here. Oh man, I really like Old Billy's Tim's. I said, that's your preference.
Yep.
I said, but I didn't force you to come in here. I said, you came in on your own, so just try me out. We took his plate, took it to him, and we went in the back. He comes up to the radio, hey, Big O, I'm a loyal customer. I'll be here every day now. That man comes every day.
Really? Yeah,
Yep.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yep.
So you've built your business simply around what you would just normally do.
That's it.
It wasn't something you had to go learn how to do something. This is what you normally do,
right?
Which makes it consistent.
That's it. That's it. It's like every morning, like people like, man, I was at your Edmond store, and then I come to your Midwest City store. It tastes the same. Why wouldn't it taste the same?
Right.
I do all the cooking.
Okay, so let's get into some business questions because, I mean, I can't really say that you didn't take you took a non-traditional route because many people, take this route.
Right.
But as you were deciding who and what you wanted your business to become, what were the things that you considered when you said, because when everything you've done and described so far, you've given your everything to it.
Yep.
Right? Mm-hmm. So when you decided that now that we have a brick and mortar business, what were some things that you and your wife talked about? Like, what do you want this to be? Like, what were the important things in making that decision about the business? They were like, these are the things that have to be present for us to do this.
Important things to me, man. Everybody like, oh, you got to have beer. Beer and barbecue goes together. That's not what we're about. I don't want that headache of the beer. Billy over here done drunk 8, 9, he's full, he's acting fool. This is a family-owned restaurant. Bring your family in. Mm-hmm. And I always greet, when I see a guy with his wife and kids, I'm making my best bet to go over and say, hey, man, this is what I designed this for.
I mean, I see you. You acknowledge the parents, but you're talking to the kids.
Yeah. Yep.
It's respectful. Like, I'm acknowledging the parents, but I'm really talking to the kids.
Right. And it just makes me feel good because this is what we designed it for. We designed it for family friendly. Come in, you don't have to worry about if then it got into the point that my teenagers would have to be a certain age just to serve.
Oh yeah, they can't be at the bar. They can't be over here.
Right.
They can't sit in a certain space.
Yeah, I'm cool.
So if you had a bar in here, it actually takes seats away.
Yep.
Because there's a certain distance and all that stuff. Okay, so you wanted family friendly. Yep. You didn't care about having the attachment of having alcohol with the food. Helps control the environment of how you want it to be. And what were some other things that this had to be a part of my business because we're building something.
Right. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, another thing is hiring youth. Giving them opportunity, show them the right ways and the wrong ways. It's like my favorite word with them. If you got time to lean, you got time to clean. Mm-hmm. I said, what? Oh, where'd you get that? I said, guys, it's true. If we're slow, this is a restaurant. You can find something to do. If you can't find nothing to do, why am I paying you?
Right.
Then my biggest thing when we started our first store in Edmond, we had too many employees. But it was the first one. We didn't know. Well, I had 3 or 4 girls, and I was like, hey guys, if we got time to lean, we got time to clean. I said, you can go get that bucket and start wiping the walls. Am I in trouble? I said, oh my God. But I said, baby, this is a restaurant. Those are white surface walls. You're supposed to wipe them down. Oh, I thought I was in trouble. My mama make me do.
No, this is part of your job.
Right. So yeah.
Yeah. So family friendly, investing in youth, just being your normal stuff as folks come in. Right.
That's it.
So you got first location is going, second location comes along. Mm-hmm. So for someone who they got this dream, now you're in it. They want to have multiple locations. But what have been some of the challenges of having 2 locations in different markets or different areas of the city where the customer need is different? So how do you balance being the consistent brand as Big O's Pork and Dreams with restaurants in 2 different markets with different customer needs?
Man, that's probably the hardest thing to do is you just got to be consistent. And when I say consistent, you think about McDonald's. You ask a person, what is McDonald's selling? You're going to tell me burgers. I'll tell you McDonald's is selling consistency.
That's it.
People don't get that. They're like, oh, what? I said, dude, they selling consistency.
System.
Man.
That's it.
I said, you can go from here to Texas to Washington, Canada, wherever you go, you're going to get the same quarter pounder at any McDonald's.
You don't have to think about it.
Yep.
If it's the Big Mac meal and it's a number 5 on the menu, it's number 5 wherever you go.
That's it. Then number 2 is having good food.
Okay.
Good customer service and good food, you can be successful. If you don't have good customer service and your food is good, people won't come.
Yeah. It's somebody you can, when the service isn't good, the food doesn't taste good. Even if it is good food.
Right. People want, when they open that door, when you bring them in, hey, how you doing, man? It's like, hey, man, he really warm me, you know. It just gives them that warm family. It's like I just gave them a big hug when they walk through the door.
But you make people feel like that, like even if you don't know them,
right?
They feel like I think he knows me.
Right.
Like I don't know you, but he made me feel like he knows me.
Right. It's like a little boy come in about a week ago, and he has an AR goal. AR goals is reading.
Okay.
And he meets a certain goal, and he's a 4th grader, and he's reading at a 9th grade reading level.
That's not, yeah.
Because he likes to read. And he comes, Mr. Big O, guess what? I got my AR goals up. I said, oh my God. He said, man, you know, I was thinking that when I do these questions and stuff, because my son used to do this, I always wanted to get the thick book.
Yeah.
Because you get more points.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know, just that, man, just to, you know, just giving back, talking to kids, man. You know, just like my guys that are working, man, they football players.
Yeah.
So we get to talk football.
Yeah.
I still get to coach them a little bit. I try to show them some pointers.
Yeah.
And they're like, dang, oh, you do know what you're talking about. I've been doing
a little bit.
Little bit. But other than that, it's pretty cool, man.
Okay. I got a couple more questions.
All right.
So we close this out. I think as like you've experienced the food truck space, you know, you made it through COVID. You know, you definitely, you know, supported us with the different campaigns that you guys have participated in, and the restaurant scene or the business scene is, I feel like it's changed again. How do we establish a strong business community in Oklahoma City?
Well, the way we do it, we have to support one another. That's one thing that we really don't do. I try to, if I can, but some of us got the same off days.
Yeah, Mondays.
Yep. And it's like, man,
Sundays, Mondays.
You know.
Yeah.
And that's one thing about I learned. I'm open to help anybody. I'm not gonna knock you down. I'm not gonna tear you down. You know, like my deal on the back of my T-shirt. It says, "What's your dream?" Everybody got a dream.
Yep.
So to tear somebody down, not to help them, no, because I got help.
Right.
So, you know, that's the only way we can make it. You know. But you know, like at the end of the day, some of us is for us, and some of us not. You know, and that's just what it is.
Cool.
But you know, it's just like if we could stick together as one, boy, we'd be strong.
I believe that.
Because I see it every night. When I get ready to leave and I go down sooner and I look at this one little restaurant, it's packed. And I could go in that restaurant and I won't see us in there.
Right.
But boy, that community, damn, man, I'm like, they're there for one another.
Yep. So you got a chance to be a part of the For the Culture pop-up during Black History Month for Paycom. And so how different was that for y'all? I mean, you've done a lot of different things. So when you think about the experience of the pop-up being inside of Paycom, was it different than what you've experienced before as a business?
It was difficult at once But it's like when you walk in somebody's home,
Mm-hmm.
you don't want to take over. But I'm in your home and you're telling me this is my space, this is what I can do.
Right.
I need you to understand, this ain't my first rodeo.
Right.
I'm not scared at all.
Yeah.
I'm going to do me. And anytime you allow me to do me, the only way I know how is to do me.
Do me, yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
So I'm not trying to run nobody over, but they made us on road, get out the way.
Right. So for me, it's really important for the work that we do is how do we create opportunities where y'all could be visible and be seen, because you know, before I got here, even since I lived here, I don't see the advocacy in the way that I feel like it needs to be done.
Right.
And you know, people may not agree with my tactic to get it done, but that's none of my business, because at the end of the day, it's about how do we make sure that people know we have amazing Black-owned restaurants and businesses around here, and everybody needs to know about it. And that's just the angle that I take it. But it brings me a lot of joy when I see people that didn't know about Big O's Pork and Dreams are like, man, this is you love that style of barbecue, great.
Right.
But here's one over here
that
you need to pay attention to.
Right.
Come enjoy this experience over here.
Right. You know, I appreciate all the things you've done for us as well, man, because just giving us, it's like we're getting another level of different people. Yeah, we got the softball, but that other arena, dude, I mean, that was a whole nother level.
But to see how over the years the overall mindset is changing and how people are supporting Black-owned restaurants is what I'm excited to see. And it's been some work, but it's been some sweat that I'm really proud of. The mindset is changing, the opportunities are changing, and even the people that I don't work with are getting a chance to experience that. Hey, I just want people to go to be intentional how they spend and support a Black-owned restaurant, support a Black-owned business, and I'm seeing it. And I just believe that the more that we create opportunities for people to experience something, their ideas about it change. So that's all I got, man. I wanted to chat with you and talk about the restaurant and the business. I learned more about in this conversation about your like childhood and home life and how that connects to today.
Yeah.
Because these things all connect, and what you do today versus the foundation experience you got growing up. And I understand why.
Right.
I understand why you invest in youth. I understand why, because these people you invested in their tough times are showing up for you today. Well, y'all, this is the conclusion of the Bigger Than Food podcast here with Big O from Big O's Pork and Dreams. So Big O, if people want to support you at both of your locations, how can they find you to be able to support your restaurant?
I'll tell you what, first stop will probably be 285 South Santa Fe in Edmond. That's between, we're right there in the shopping center, with the Chase Bank. And then the next location is 6003 Southeast 15th Street, the old Twid Sporting Good building, right in front of the Warren Theater. Come check us out.
So you have website, social media, and all that kind of stuff.
All that.
So you can find them online, support them. Like we always say, be intentional how you spend, and support Big O's Barbecue. I promise you, everything you've heard and listened to in this podcast, you will experience it when you come in either location. Now, if you hear a loud voice, you walk through the door, don't be alarmed. He's just a warm welcome and greeting, y'all. But y'all, thank y'all for supporting us on the Bigger Food Podcast. We'll see you on the next episode. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to watch more episodes from the Bigger Than Food Podcast.